Hey, Dango, do you want to talk a bit about Fennec?
Yeah, no, sure. I'd be happy to. And I really think future's going to bring some pretty cool things to both of us from potentially like a branding and like a partnership network or web kind of perspective. I know a lot of you guys might not be familiar with Fennec. It's been around for a little bit. I mean, I've met like a handful of you, of course, but Fennec is a proof of work coin that we're working on developing bridges for to EVM chains. In the US, we got, registered and I guess, pretty well established business, to be honest with you at this point. Like in hindsight, I tend to look at it as a startup, but it's pretty well established and there's a lot of potential with it. It's like a production company for, like children's books, toys. We got like a lot of merch and stuff. I could, throw a link at the bottom or to DMs if anyone's curious. And I mean, we're looking to go cross chain, get really involved in the kind of liquidity webbing model that you guys have spoken about.
Love it. Love it. Hi with
Yeah.
us. Well, that's the best way to do a partnership, right? Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, we want to bridge on Pulse, man. Like, and people are going to know there's like a proof of work chain. People are spending like, potentially like hundreds or thousands in the near future, hopefully, of dollars just kind of maintaining, which would take like, a decent amount of time. Cause we're starting from, I guess like an opportunity, type of scale, it's a small operation to start.
Organic. Yep.
Strong foundation, very organic too. But I guess really I'm speaking about the market cap, like the site, the vision of the project is big. We got a lot of strong people over the course of time that have stayed because of the values we have. And I'm about to push the site. So we got a lot of things internally going on that we're excited about. And I think we're sitting at like 50K on, our exchange. Yeah, we're trying to thicken the LP, man. I want to get maybe my hands on like another 20,000 Fennec. What would that be? Probably like, I don't know, like 250, 400 put aside, thicken the pool up a little bit more in the next 2 days.
Our pool on ZegX right now is about $750. I would definitely like to buff that up more.
Oh, he's on Seg. So we're about to change the space. It's a proof of work coin too. This is so great. All right, cool.
Dude, the chain, here's the thing too. The chain is like about 20 months old, like well established, like good history, track record of just, maintaining signs of life or making pushes. And at this point, like I'll put it to you this way, like I'm one of the engines behind a lot of it and my schedule is freed up. My mind has been locked in. I've learned a lot of stuff. The whole situation is, definitely starting to change and there's evidence of that everywhere. I mean, if you hop in the Fennec chat, like there's a lot of recent updates. I'm just going to drop the Telegram portal real quick and you could scroll through it. I mean, a lot of, the mentality, the ideas, the updates that are coming soon. Like I got screenshots throughout the main chat. So anybody just looking to get an idea, like there's not a ton of spam or anything at the moment or just general conversation. It's mostly updates because, we got a handful of people involved, but, a lot of them work with us, through, I guess like DMs and other groups. Like it's kind of an update group for the time being with a little conversation mixed in. When the new site comes out, I'm going to be really excited because during opportunities like this, a lot of the philosophy, the game plan, how we're going to do it, all that kind of stuff, it's going to be right there on the site. So I was just learning my way around WordPress, which, it's embarrassing I hadn't given it a shot sooner, but like I'm really excited to have control over the info that's being put out. And at the moment, we're not prioritizing like design or anything because, when you're building a lot of value, that gets thrown at you. It comes, So like I think really just the fundamentals, the information, keeping it short and sweet, breaking it up, doing all that kind of organization stuff, make it smooth. I'm just very excited to have it out there so that we're starting to attract people that, resonate with that. That's crucial to me, to build like the right kind of initial group as well.
What's a proof of work coin?
So basically it's going to be a coin that exists on its own chain. There's a lot with that said, like a few things I had mentioned, like we're essentially like a unique, network, like, it's our own chain and you can mine the coin. So if you basically get configured to our algorithm, people can run GPU and CPU like mining rigs or standard gaming computers, stuff like that. You can actually, kind of help support the network security, just like Bitcoin. You're running on the algorithm configured to the network, and you get paid out in Fennec coins for that.
I've been mining Fennec since January 2023.
Yeah, like we're looking to find, and we have a couple developers in queue to consider for implementing like FRC20, kind of like the BRC20 situation. I wouldn't assume it's going to have as high of a throughput as like Ethereum, but like, I mean, it could. I haven't really looked into all of the transaction per second type stuff with it, but it'll be capable of hosting NFT trading and potentially like tokenized derivatives within the network. So, it wouldn't hurt to have a piece of it if it ends up being, a popular chain by any means for any period of time. If you keep up with it, it could be a good thing to look into and to learn about, and potentially be something fruitful. So
What's the ASIC situation? Is the ASIC resistant?
it is, yeah, but there's no ASICs, which is really nice, in my opinion. So kind of helps protect things in the beginning. You know what I mean? That's my take on it. But in any case, it is kind of, appropriate once you grow to scale for somebody to figure out how to develop an ASIC, similarly to the Caspa situation, in my opinion. Like, there was just a lot of value there. Somebody kind of adapted to the situation. But for those that aren't completely aware, like the ASICs are, the much like bulkier, like more intense kind of computers that specifically mine a coin, and that's like their only job. They're very efficient, very effective, usually very high scale and expensive. But that kind of sophistication and value, there's an expense to all of it, and that money that's invested actually changes people's incentive. And not only do they want profit, they want to protect the chain. They want to make it scalable. You have additional influences come in from there. We've met tons of people through that.
The way GPUs are progressing, it's kind of silly to get tied into one proprietary type environment.
And Fennec is GPU and CPU compatible. I just sent some pictures in the Skol chat of the new draft for the new mining page. And look, different people would have an opinion on my volunteering of the current mining tab. But if you want to think about something in terms of the capabilities, the situation, or the scheduling of the team, I'm just, I have a decent network out here, but things do get in the way. But with that said, like the current mining page, has a decent amount of the information and stuff, but we're trying to change the entire approach. Initially it was almost intentional with the web developer to set up like a very simple site to attract, people with the right interest. And then you can see like the one we have now isn't super sophisticated, but now we're prioritizing information, basically over trying to just find people that would take it up right from the start. But now it's like we're looking to have a better presentation, and I really like how it's coming out. These images have a good amount of info as well. Would love for you guys to see the final drafts that I'm going to push in the future, especially compared to the current site. I just didn't know much about WordPress. Now that I know I can control the information broadcast and update it consistently, on top of not having to work for several months, due to, a decent injury, but it's not stopping me from working either. I actually feel pretty good about how things are going to be the next few months. So I'm very excited to see who follows up. The group looks and sounds very strong, very educated. Man, if when Fennec goes, full-blown EVM with decent amount of liquidity, like on top of the other things in store that I can get into in the future, it's going to be exciting. So, like, thanks for the time. A lot of different ideas I want to get into, but yeah, we want a good liquidity web on the dexes. We currently have bridges for BSC, Ethereum. The Ethereum pair is live, but we got to add like a decent amount of liquidity there, especially for the market cap that's assigned to it. So, there's not a ton of trading on it at the moment, but it is live. And as soon as we got some LP in the bank, like I'm looking to basically build out the idea. We have like a whole really detailed plan about like minimizing the trust requirements to maintain and keep it up. And then also like following up with like progress reports and all kinds of different things. I am willing to build trust and get to work. Like, we know the people to make a universal pool. What that means is the hundreds of coins that get launched every year, like Fennec, on their own chain that are mineable, they need somewhere to be hosted for people to mine them. So we skim 0.5% off every coin that's ever mined in our pool, and we just advertise it heavily. We brand it very well. And then you're looking at 30, 40,000 people on the average universal pool on this scale for the low market cap stuff. Literally 30, 40,000 people. They mine anywhere from 50 cents to maybe $10 or $20 a day on the pool. And then you're getting 0.5% of that. Like, I think the Fennec brand, the logos.
So smart. Okay.
So then you can individually assess each project when you have staffing for that. And it's almost like you're an advisory team that assess which ones to sell and hold. And the portfolio just takes a life of its own from there. And we have a fucking revenue stream. We have somewhere to expand upon liquidity. We have somewhere to speculate and network by learning about new projects. We have a lot of shit we can do. And I have like 3 months off work. And I'll do this shit all day, bro.
And a lot of the stuff that I don't understand, you understand. A lot of this, I mean, like with me, you, and Richard, and some of the people in this community. Like the amount of knowledge that people are going to gain and the utility that's going to be able to be built. Oh man, yeah, I'm game, bro. You definitely know your shit. You have the connections I don't have.
Dude, it's this simple, guys. Like, we get a couple native assets and they're like, people look at them like, damn, look, their utilities are also revenue streams. Like, the tide is just going to rise over time. You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be perps on these assets. Like, there's never going to be a stop for like liquidity flowing into them. It's a store of value, regardless of whether or not it's like Load, Skol, Fennec. When they see that we could become like an educational, and look, we're on the entertainment side, like with a partner, like we could be multi-industry conglomerate. It sounds crazy, but like, we all know we have a lot of what it takes to start, like, and the partnership could be badass, dude. I just see it.
Do you guys have a GraphQL schema yet, or an API that can like to pull data off?
Yes. Well, we have the ZegX data API. I'm going to send you the new version of ZegX because it's really nice. So you get it from the site, actually.
Torin, do you remember? This is one of the projects that wants one.
Yeah, I'm trying to work right now on both the AI. Like, ultimately, I think we're just going to call it the Riggy AI.
The fact that we're able to do this in a grassroots level and have someone with his capabilities and the time off to actually, utilize these structures, tell us what, hey, Rick, give me a progress report on your LPs today and things like that. Once we're able to build up all this out, which, technically won't take a lot of time, but like if it's going to be fucking mad because you know what I need to give you and I know how to get it. Once we get there, at that point, the explosion and the amplitude of what it just amplifies itself because the community is the utility. The utility is almost meaningless. You can tie yourself in liquidity with tokens with utility, which is what we've done, number one. But we also have a greater understanding of the crypto market in general, which is just a benefit for our community to just hold one token. You're still going to win just by holding one token. So.
It's all paired.
And I mean, to that point, I mean, when Dango was, when you're talking about like a GPU miner, dude, I mean, to me, that sounds like the perfect grassroots, like something I can do at my computer. And then hearing you and Riggs talk about like the stuff that I don't know, I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, well, like not only are you like not only is this beneficial to the community, to the ecosystem, but the first thing I'm thinking of when I can GPU mine a coin is I wonder how much I can mine and not dump on the market, but provide liquidity with. So that was the first thing I thought of is I wonder how much I can mine and then provide liquidity. And so like, exactly. I think, you're talking to the right community to build liquidity with.
Great. Wow. Let's go. I mean, there's plenty of ideas that I can discuss, but the website will speak for itself. Anybody that wants to see what I've drafted so far, it's quite a bit. It's very well organized and broken up, but anybody that wants to at least like investigate kind of the potential, it's there and it's drafted. It's not published, but I can send the drafts, no problem. It'll be done in about 3 days. I've really been locking in. And with mining, I guess I'll tell you straight up, like a lot of people are mining to protect the chain, or if it's like the most profitable coin within a certain mining algorithm that their computer's connected to, the pool will rearrange it. So not everybody's deliberately mining. It's just like the next best thing for their electricity cost at that moment, which helps. It's not a bad thing. We will have like, ample miners. Some of them are mining, but buying on the open market, guys, we designed it to be scarce on the emissions to suppress selling pressure, but still offer enough to incentivize as the price goes up. It causes a squeeze on the supply, of course, right? Like that by design, but there's enough to keep things flowing. People that want to provide liquidity as the price goes up, they're going to have a nice dollar value worth to actually make pairs. But like, guys, we're like 40, 50K right now on ZegX. Like the inconvenience of, setting up like a general account with an email and a password, getting in there, these are the stories that you hear. Like, I don't know, like when people are like, yeah, like I found it on the corner of the internet, didn't really know what the hell. That's where the opportunity is, in my opinion. We are multi-chain accessible and it's under, development. But with that said, like the base is well set, low market cap. What else do people look for? And plenty of plans. I'm really excited to meet you guys a little more personally, have something of value, and the situation where I can work with you. To not sound crazy, but like to give Rig an idea of like where at least like my vision is and my respect for Pulse Trends as I know it, to say the least. Like with you guys and with what I'm trying to do and how we can add value to each other, we could be like an educational conglomerate. Like I said, like, we could be like an institution that educates about crypto, and our assets are different stocks within that. And if we scale up to the point where we're earning fees on liquidity pools to the extent that we can, find a location, slowly dox, get people in positions, like we all are holding these assets and we're just like fucking going crazy networking. Like it's not for the education. That's nice and it looks good. We won't get as much regulatory interference from any kind of government if we're on that side of this. But my other take is the networking. You find the people that are willing to do the shit, that take the initiative to show up at a crypto school or like an institution online, or like there's people with a face that make videos on a whiteboard. Like there's no limit on that side of it with courses. And if we have a sophisticated enough design system, liquidity web, that nobody can touch us on this side of the market, especially, we start to bridge out. Other people start to like us. They start talking to us like with like extra money. Like, yeah, guys, let's go.
Fennec does have a Git partner section in the Skol Git book that goes into detail what we had planned to build with them. So it is worth giving a read to.